Hello and welcome to the W2W Tier 1 Championship. Oh my days, have you actually been serious? Looks like there's no pre-show because I have been lied to about the start time of this race. It has officially already began, so I do apologise. There will be no pre-show, but I'll try and fill you in as much as I can. Anyway, this is a great start from these guys. But looks like it is a sunny day in Silverstone. Round 10 of the championship are almost halfway. It has been a quick season so far. 26 laps around this track will be hopefully an entertaining race being said. Sorry, I apologise, I'm kind of off track here with everything. I was not expecting this to happen. Give me a second. There we go. Right, so we have drivers coming out already, a mixture of soft, mediums and hard tyres. We will be expecting more or less a one... Oh my days, is this doing this pish again? Yes it is. Yeah, right, I'm flummoxed. There we go. It should be showing everyone the race now. No, it's not. This is actually shambles. I had everything set up for my 10-minute pre-show and it's just decided to jump in early. That's obviously great for the commentators. But 15 minutes to go. Yellow flag sector 3. Most people are out on laps currently, so we have Schwalb just about started his lap. Same with Jai G. They're the only two really who's on a flying lap. Mandrop's just started, so it will be Schwalb who will be the first person to cross the line. He is on the soft tyres. Currently 6th in the championship after only 3 rounds, which is mighty impressive from the German and the McLaren, considering as well he did that, well, technically 3 races in which he scored points. Yeah, but he's obviously done more with reserves. So 63 points, 88 points behind Nick, the only person to have outscored Nick in the last 3 races. That is showing how much Nick's dominance has been. Obviously our championship leader, 151 points, now has over a race victory and a gap within the points, 38 points to be exact. We have Real, who is racing with us tonight in the other McLaren, I believe making only his 4th appearance in the league, with 88 points, 63 points behind. As Schwalb actually enters pit, so Jai G will be the first person to cross the line. We'll continue with the Drivers' Championship as we go on. So Jai G, first person to cross the line, 127.5 on the soft tyres. We'll see if that is a good time as everyone else starts to cross the line. It looks like Nick will be the next to cross the line on these soft tyres, and he does have a Renault right behind us. Nick 127.4 with Lira, who's the Renault 127.6. So Nick takes provisional pole out of these 3 cars. Shadi has retired from the session somewhere, so that's not a good sign for Shadi, who is currently 2nd in our championship. Going back to the championship, Hickster, who is currently 4th in the championship, 79 points, 72 points behind Nick. That suppose no is also retiring from the session, so this is quite interesting. Silvers, who's currently in 6th, is with a 129.6, currently 5th in the championship, 73 points behind Nick, 78 points behind Nick, but 6 points behind Hickster, so we might see a little bit chopping and changing come the end of this race. So far 13 minutes to go. I believe that was Jaime just put himself up into 4th place with 128.5. Currently only 3 drivers in the 27s currently. Real with the 28.6 on the hard tyres, with 2 steps, 129.3 and 6th. Kim Worthington doing a 141.3, so I'd imagine a little bit of a spin on his end. Let's have a look to see if there's any other drivers about to cross the line by any chance. Looks like Archer will be the next person to put a lap time in. And it's a 1:30.7, so that puts him up to 8th place, but a very slow lap for Archer, possibly making a mistake in his lap. We currently have luck taps on a bit of a flying lap. Schwab is out on another set of soft tyres. Heiko, new to the race, again, wasn't made aware of that, but well, that's a nice little change. 1:35.7 for luck taps, but that was an invalidated lap, so that doesn't work out really well for him. Mastertron on an out lap. We have, looks like everyone's more or less done their first fairly flying laps of the session with 11 minutes to go for the time being. So will we have a little bit of a quick lull in this qualifying session? I'll briefly put you up to speed with everything else. So currently constructors, we have Merck 186 points from Red Bull, only 20 points behind, so it's still a close battle for the constructors between these two teams. McLaren not that far behind with 137, especially with two of their drivers racing today. This will be a good chance of them getting some decent points on the board. We have a good battle as well for 4th in the constructors. Toro Rosso and Williams, 95 points to 94, 1 point in it between 4th position, so that's a little bit of an exciting battle to look at. We do only have one Toro Rosso, and actually I've just noticed we don't have Hickster, so Silvers, as long as he gets at least 6 points, will get himself back up into 4th, unless Schwab has anything to say about that. Williams will be looking at Ken Worthington and Jaime, both 5th and 6th, as luck taps puts the fastest lap of the session so far with the 1:27.3. So it looks like potentially a very low 27, a flat 27 or possible high 26 looks like the pole time to beat Schwab. 1:27.4 on his first flying lap puts him up into 2nd place. Who else is on a lap? Archer is on a in lap by the look of it. Mazzatron is about to finish his lap, so we will go on board with him, heading into 16 and 17 and heading into 18. Very important you don't extend the track limits here, it's very easy to do so. Nice and clean from Mazzatron, puts himself up into 7th, only a 10th, less than a 10th actually behind his fellow teammate Nick. So a very good lap there from Mazzatron. Hopefully he can get some points in the bag for Red Bull today. But for everyone else, anyone on a lap, we have Lira just about to start a lap. We'll actually go on board with him, get the full lap experience in the Renault. Heading into turn 5, cars on the left slowing down. Hopefully that's not too much of a hindrance. No, it isn't. Doesn't opt for the DRS. Heading into turn 6, he's 2 times up on his first sector personal best. That's a potential for a front row grid if he front row position if he keeps this up. Heading into turn 9, this is where the old Silverstone start finish line was in the first turn. Still one of my favourite kind of first turns in the Grand Prix. Heading into Maggots and Beckett's turns 11, 12, 13, 14. Exiting Chapel's always best to try and get a really good exit out of Beckett's, because this lines you up, especially with the DRS, onto the back straight. Heading down into 15, turn 15 that is. A nice wide swooping line there, very very clean from Lira as he actually enters the pits, and that's at least a lap, almost a lap around Silverstone. Silvers, he is on the hard tyres. He's actually going to be putting a lap in for us. And it's a 28.7 on the hard tyres. Now that's actually a pretty impressive time. There is a bit of a difference, obviously, as you would expect, between the soft and hard tyres. Tyre delta wise, 1.1 seconds to be exact, as Jai G puts the fastest lap of the session in with a 1:27.1. That's very, very good time. As always, as I mentioned, Jai G is a very, very good qualifier as he loses it. Luckily does not retire from the session. Nick posting a 26.8. He's really put down the gauntlet there. 3/10 faster than Jai G. So very good lap from a championship leader. Provisional pole at least with 7 minutes to go. Schwalbe is on an out lap. Jaime is on a flying lap. It looks like he is a 10th slower after sector 1. We'll have a look later into the lap for him. Rio, the first person who was on the hard tyres, on the medium tyres now. He's currently 8/10 up. We have someone joining Spawning Star. I believe that's someone who else is new. Okay. Either that or someone random has joined us. Not entirely sure, but Rio puts himself up into 4th on the medium tyres. A 1:27.3. 5/10 off Nick. Now the tyre delta between softs and mediums is 6/10 of a second. So Rio with that kind of lap and the difference in tyres could potentially get pole position if he really wants to. Now again, the question is how long do these tyres last within this race? It is a one-stop strategy by the look of it. Most people will be either going from soft to medium or soft to hard depending on when they want to try the undercut. Now the undercut is very strong. It has usually been in these types of games the last couple of years around Silverstone, so maybe someone will want to take advantage of that. Schwalbe, I think he's about to start his lap. Jaime, I don't think he improved his lap. Mandrop on a bit of a flying lap. No, he's not. I got confused there for a second. It was showing he was a second and a half faster. Ken Worthington on an out lap. We have Heiko. Currently on the medium tyres with a 1:28.9, looking to see if he's going to be putting a lap in. No, it is a out lap for him. Who else is that? Schwalbe, 3/10 up after sector 1. We'll go on board with him, heading into, was that turn 1? So he looks like he will be battling for this pole position. It looks like it will come down to the two McLarens and Nick the way it goes. Less than 5 minutes to go as well, so Schwalbe really needs to get a bit of a flying in lap. 6/10 up after sector 2. He is on par with Nick's time if he does improve it at least at all in sector 3. He will be guessing this pole position. The question is, can he translate this sector 2 into a good sector 3? The answer will be yes. The pole position for Schwalbe, 26.6, so a 10th and a half faster than Nick with 4 minutes to go. Now if he wants to have another crack at another run, he really needs to get a move on. 4 minutes to go now. He does not have a lot of time to possibly have another run unless he's very, very fortunate. Anyway, everywhere else, luck taps coming across the line, 3/10 up faster than his personal best, puts himself up to 3rd with a 1:26.8. We had Lira there just crossing the line with a 1:27.2 in the Renault. Ken Worthington coming in. We have Mazzatrone, who is a couple of times faster than his personal best so far, so hopefully he can move up a couple of positions and maybe join Nick at the front of the field. Heading into the last couple of corners now. Mazzatrone, where does he end up? It looks like it's going to be an improvement. It is an improvement, only by a place though. 1:27.3, 9 thousandths of a second away from beating Real, at least for the 6th position provisionally. Who else is on a lap? It looks like Two Steps is on an in lap, so it looks like everyone is on a either in lap or about to come out. We have Real, who's just exited the pit lane. for the time being. 2.5 minutes. This is where everyone will want to try and head out. Schwab has actually, by the look of it, got enough time to get himself into a position for another lap here. Preferably, drivers will want to start leaving the pit lane around 2 minutes to go. Make sure that they're traffic free for the start of the flying lap. So it looks like Real will be the first person to cross the line on the final runs of the qualifying session. He has chosen the softs. Now remember, he did his sixth position was done with the medium tyre compound, so he still has time in the bag. He has been more or less sandbagging his first run with the hards, his second run with the mediums. Let's see if he can beat his teammate to pole position. Traffic is coming out of the pit lane. Hopefully this does not affect his turn 1 and turn 2. It's his teammate who's actually out in front of him. Hopefully the teammate does get out of the way. Or maybe even some DRS will maybe work it in Rio's favour. If he's a little bit lucky here, like obviously he will get DRS, but that slipstream. Does he get the slipstream? I think he does, as the leader retires from the session. So teammates working out, trying to get that front row lockout. I didn't actually catch Rio's split time there, so we'll wait until sector 2 to find out whether or not he's doing well or not. I'll actually maybe double check with these streaming back. So he's 2/10 up after sector 1, 2/10 after sector 1. Hopefully he can improve his time coming into Magus and Beckett's. He really is pushing the car to all its worth. Almost on the grass. You're really trying to narrow that down, and he's doing superb. 4/10 up after sector 2. He will be joining the 26 club at the way it's going. If he can improve sector 3, he might be in a chance for second at least. I think he needs to pull a bit of a blinder sector 3 if he even wants to be close to pole position, as the checker flag is about to come out now. And he actually gives up on his lap, so he's opting to go for the medium tyres. That's very interesting for Rio. So the McLarens are doing a split strategy, so Swell, by the look of it, on par for getting a pole position, but Nick is half a tenth up after sector 1. We'll quickly have a wee look around to see if anyone else is about to cross the line. Everyone looks like they're on improving times. 3/10 up for Silver, 6/10 up for Mandrop. He is about to cross the line next, so we'll go on board with him and then we'll check back with Nick in a second. So Mandrop improves his time but stays 10th. Nick is, he's not improved sector 2, he's actually lost time. He's a 10th behind his personal best, so that's not going to work out for him. Heiko is 12th, 2 steps 13th. Who else have I missed? Because there was someone who was also on the flying lap. I think that was Silver. Silver's is up to 9th. We have Archer up into 12th as well. So that's qualifying over very, very quick. So it looks like Schwab takes another pole position and another pole position for McLaren team, which seems to dominate qualifying as of recently. So just to confirm the standings, Schwab on pole from Nick, Lucktaps 3rd, JG 4th, Lira 5th, Real 6th, Mazatron 7th, Jaime 8th, Silver's 9th, Ken Worthington 10th, Mandrop 11th, 12th is Archer, 13th is Heiko, who's just left the lobby. Hopefully he can join in for the race. 14th is Two Steps, Boas Noise is 15th, and Shadi, who is 16th. Both Boas Noise and Shadi not putting a time in after crashing / retiring from the session. So the 8 drivers are possibly going to wait. Actually, no, Lira has started the countdown. Heiko, I've just noticed, has got himself back online into the game, so hopefully he can join in by the time the formation lap starts. I would imagine so. He does have plenty of time to join. You just might not have the tyre temperature quality come the start of the race, but Formula 1 is this game in particular is very forgiving for allowing drivers to compete, as he does actually join right before the formation lap, so that is very, very good for him. So we have 17 drivers now, as Spawny Star has joined us again. Do not know who he is, but that is the wonderful mystique, I suppose, of W2W racing. So we'll actually have a look to see the tyres of the people outside the top 10. So a very actually mixed bag in a sense. We have Mandrop and Archer, medium tyres for each, Heiko 2 Steps and Shari in the soft tyres, and we have Boas Noise and Spawny on the hard tyres. So it looks like it's going to be very, very interesting at the back. Again, this is a very much a race we could possibly get some points for from the back, depending on how well the strategy goes. It looks like Schwalbe has once again made a very quick getaway. I noticed this in Austria, where he basically drives the car at racing speed, formation lap, well, almost racing speed, very, very fast. Obviously that helps with tyres, but he was sitting on the grid for a long time. Spawny Star only just coming into Magus and Beckett's, well, he's on the back straight already, so he'll maybe need to back up just slightly for the time being if he wants to keep his tyres up, but at the same time he might be hurting Nick and Luptap's chances and everyone further down, so forth. So we have Real in the top 10, as well as Silver's actually on the medium tyres, each of them. So this might be an opportunity, especially for these two drivers, to maybe upset the soft tyre runners. Hopefully they can get a good start. I would imagine obviously the soft tyre runners will get the better start off the grid. It's just whether or not the first couple of laps, how much damage limitation that Real and Silvers can do to make sure they do not lose many places. But it looks like the drivers are lining up onto the grid. That's everyone actually made it up onto the grid actually, and round 10 is about to start in Silverstone. It looks like the lights are not working, so I'll have to guess Silvers gets a drive-through penalty at the start of the race. That is not great for the Mercedes driver. But it looks like a really good start from Schwalbe as he gets the whole shot into turn 1. We have Nick still holding second place from JG and Luptaps side by side. Real's made a position up already. Silvers with his jump start up into 6th. Real side by side with JG. I've seen a Hasser lap 1 before and it did not work out well, but very good driving from these two. Let's see if Real can do anything around the outside heading into turn 7, but very clean racing so far by these the group of guys here. We have Spawny Star, who's actually had a bit of a good start here, putting himself up into 13th place already, battling his teammate and making sure he stays ahead heading into turn 9. We'll actually go the intervals, it should be the leader, I prefer that. So we have Lira in 7th place, Ken Worthington right behind in 8th, Shari up into 9th already. Remember, he started from the back of the grid, an absolute amazing start for the person second in the championship. We're going 3 wide into turn 9, no it's not turn 9, it's turn 15. Who comes out first? Contact between 2 Steps and Shari. Who wins this battle? Looks like it's Shari. Well done from this Mercedes driver, but 2 Steps the Brit not wanting to give him any time to relax. Schwalbe puts the fastest lap in the race in. Obviously lap 1 he is first person to cross the line, but Nick is keeping him company. No, he's not. Why is it showing 3/10? He's not 3/10 away. Okay, give that a second to load, but we have Shari having an excellent start on these soft tyres. He's done his job. He's made sure he can get himself into the points, and now actually with Silvers getting his drive-through. He is technically in a net 8th, but if Silver's staying out, possibly means that he can maybe play the team game for Shad and get him an extra couple of places. Magitron going around the outside back trail. I think Magitron has had a bit of a poor start. Let's have a look at the... Oh, there we go, the places. Yes, he has. He's lost 7 after Archer's just basically passed him. Spawny Star and Shaddy are the big winners here. 9th and 11th. What's happened to Ken Worthington? Oh my days, there's carnage at turn 9. And a safety car. Safety car. That's quite a shame. And what's happened to Heiko? Why is Heiko not racing? I thought he joined us. That's a bit of a shame for Heiko then. So Schwalb, after lap 2, stays in the lead with the safety car coming in after only 2 laps. Was not expecting a crash at turn 9, so I do not know if there's been any contact here. We'll have to see. I think there hasn't. So this is Silver's. Now, does the drive-through count while the Mercedes is under the safety car? Very interested to see. Or is this maybe a change in strategy? It's a change in strategy. So we have a couple of people on the pits. We have Spawny Star, we have Silvers, we have Shaddy as well. So the Mercedes both double stacking here as Shaddy gets a front wing. So this maybe explains why there has been an issue with Ken Worthington. Maybe there has been contact with Shaddy. Now the damage was on the left hand side, so I'm going to assume Shaddy took a look at Ken Worthington on the inside of turn 9 and just did not work out well for these guys, but hopefully he can get himself back into frame. Now these hard tyres are meant to last 26 laps, so feasibly he can make it to the end of this race without having to pit again. He does have to play the tyre strategy game though, however, but there is still chance for some points for Shaddy. But we head into lap 3, still with the safety car. 15 drivers now, as Heiko has not started the race, which is very unfortunate considering he did join before the formation lap. So that's not really worked out in his favour. But again, there's not much you can do with that kind of situation. As people getting 5-second penalties, what's happening here? 2 steps Lira, 5-second penalties. I believe Shaddy got a 5-second penalty from somewhere. Correct me if I'm wrong, no he didn't, so I think it was Silvers. Silvers jumping into the pits again. I think he's wanting to try and get his pit stop, drive-through taken care of, but I don't think he can do it under safety car regulations. Especially in this game, I know for a fact you can't do it in real life. So, a bit of a lull here as we just wait for the safety car to get back into the pits. Safety car has done a lot of laps as of recently, led quite a chunk of the Singapore Grand Prix as of last night / yesterday. So, with Nick currently second place, he's on course to extend his championship lead over Shaddy. Possibly, look at the real Nick take second, that is not the case. Shaddy does have a race gap as Boris Noise gets a 5-second penalty for collisions. Now I do remember actually someone actually spun. There's a little bit of carnage here. Everyone's a little bit tight at the back. And who's that actually going very, very slow? Anyway, safety car is in this lap. Just to quickly finish the points, so Nick will be extending his championship points as it goes. Schwab already exiting into the last couple of corners, already in full throttle. He's basically gapped Nick in a sense as Liam Mazzutrone entered the pits. Bosno's picking another 5-second penalty up for himself, so a lot of drivers must have had some contact there, Maggots and Beckett's, because they are entering the pits. It's already allowed the likes of Shaddy and Silvers to already put themselves back into 10th and 11th place, but Schwab maintains control after the safety car restart from Nick Luck Taps. We have a yellow flag, sector 1, Jai G from Rio, Mandrop Spawny Star, who did pit, already up in 7th place from Archer, Jaime, Shaddy and Silvers. Looks like the issue has been with Silvers as he got front wing damage. The car looks like it's running okay actually, I don't know. It looks like it's okay for the time being, no front wing damage, just possible spin. Schwab already gapping Nick here, but Nick is already gapping Luck Taps. So the top 3 already spaced out, not a lot of battles really. The only closest group of cars are 7th, 8th and 9th, with Spawny Star getting the better of Archer and Jaime. Jaime has actually had a spin Magnus and Beckett, so that's allowed Shaddy up into 9th place. Silvers picking up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So Shaddy on the hard tyres already up into 9th place. He does not have to pit again, I do not believe so anyway. I'll be very surprised if that is the case. Schwab already putting in the fastest lap of the race. Now remember, no DRS until it would be lap 7. Spawny Star actually putting fastest lap in the race in on the medium tyres. So this man means business. And that was with an overtake over at Archer, so he still has some pace in the bag. I think Silvers is finally going to be able to do his drive through. Hopefully. Nevertheless, so Spawny Star already gapping Archer by 2 seconds. He's less than a second away from Mandrop, who is on the medium tyres also. So it looks like these soft tyre runners, there's very little soft tyre runners left. Original soft tyre runners, that is. Real, the first of the medium tyre runners, already in 5th, chasing down Jai G. Looks like Silvers, has Silvers actually, okay, I think I might have just caught him being reset to the track there, that's a very strange one. Boz Noise is ghosting as well, that looks like it's turn 2, so maybe he's tried to avoid Silvers respawning. That is Real passing Jai G at the exit of Chapel, or heading into Chapel. So that's 4th for Real. Next up in his list is Luck Tap. Spawny Star manages to pass Mandrop, so it looks like Sector 2 is the strongest point for this Toro Rosso. Up into 6th place already. DRS is now enabled. Schwab has a 1.5 second gap, so Nick will not get DRS. But it looks like at this rate Spawny Star will be chasing down Jai G. His next target 2.4 seconds. Jai G on the soft tyres, Spawny Star on the medium. As we actually see what's happened to Jai G. Jai G I think went wide in, collected Spawny Star. He has spun. That's not good for the Haas driver. Manages to put himself back in. I think that is 9th place. Yes, it is. So that allows Shaddy up into 8th, and he's all over the back of Archer already. Now Shaddy isn't on the harder tyres, the slower type of tyres, but this is a good recovery drive from Shaddy already after the safety car restart. So Spawny Star now up into 5th place. He's next targeting Real, who's 3.3 seconds up the road. Silver's pitting once again. This F1 game does not want to let him do a drive-through penalty. I think he's coming in for another pit stop. He is. This game is not letting him do a drive-through penalty. He's saving himself. Okay, so Boris Noise speeding in the pit lane twice now, so that's 5-second penalty for him. Looks like Locktaps has managed to maintain DRS, so he's kept himself close enough to Nick, going a little bit wide in at the corner. Shadi passing Archer of the DRS as well. So Shadi up into 7th already on the hard tyres. Next on his list, Mandrop 1.8 seconds away. Now Spawny Star has not closed up to real too much this lap. We see JG pit in from lap 8 on his soft tyres, as he's actually retired from the session. So what's going on there? So that's not worked out well for the Hash driver. Possibly not too happy at the fact that he's been taken out or hit someone. That's not good for JG, so he is going to be our 3rd retirement of the session technically, if we include Heiko, who did not technically start. So Schwab extending his lead to 2.7 seconds. We have Locktaps really closing the gap into Nick now, but he's also dragging along Beal, so this is a 3-way battle for second for the time being. Spawny Star still 3 seconds away, but he is gapping Mandrop considerably, who has the company of Shari, more or less 0.6 of a second between them, and I think I just seen Silvers right in front of Mandrop, so possibly this is a good chance with some team tactics here to get Shari up into 6th. No, looks like Silvers is just wanting to run his own race. So Mandrop still has to defend from Shadi for the time being, but it looks like these hard tyres are really working out well. Yellow flag sector 2 and 3. That's Boa's Noise having a little bit of spin out of Beckett's. For the time being, the battle for second really starting to heat up a wee bit. They're all getting closer to each other. Nick and Locktaps on 8 lap old soft tyres. They'll probably be feeling the effects of degradation for the time being, and that's probably allowing Rio to get closer and closer. Now, it looks like he's having a bit of a look. Is it close enough? He's not close enough at all. So, looks like Rio might be getting the advantage of the medium tyres for the time being. Shari finally passes Mandrop with the help of DRS heading into turn 6. So that's Shari up in 6th place. He did start from the back of the grid, as well as having a front wing change under the safety car, so he's effectively started from last twice and put himself back in a good position. Him and Spawny Star, who pitted on the safety car as well, up into 5th, and he is now starting to starting to catch Real, who actually passed Locktaps with the DRS going round the outside, managing to make it stick. So Real up into 3rd place. I was going to mention Spawny Star is now starting to close up on the top 4, and with a little bit of battling here, this is only going to help close the gap to at least the battle for second. That pass has relieved Nick, at least for possibly the next couple of corners, from the pressure from Rio. But I'd imagine Rio, as we see Locktaps, what's happened to Locktaps? He's managed to complete the barriers. Yes, he has. Oh, so it looks like these soft tyres are done. So you'll need to get them changed, but that's allowed Spawny, Shadi and Mandrop to take advantage, as well as Archer. So Archer puts himself up to 7th, Mandrop 6th, Shadi 5th, Spawny in 4th now. 3 seconds is the gap. Rio having a look at Nick for 2nd place. This is 1st in the championship, the 3rd in the championship. It's his softs v mediums as well. Nick has probably been struggling for grip over the last couple of laps, and this is where the mediums will really get into their own. Looks like Rio basically all over the back of this Red Bull for the time being, and if he gets a good exit out of Beckett's, he's surely got himself the position, the 2nd position. And the question is, does Nick pit this lap? If I was him, I would be pitting, possibly onto the medium tyres, making sure that I'm not losing as much time as possible, because next up is Spawny Star, who's only 2.5 seconds away. Real going around the inside of Nick. I was going to say Nick was letting him go because he was going into the pits, so Nick does pit in from 2nd place. So that's allowing Spawny Star up into 3rd. He's really catching Real now. Again, similar type of tyre life on these mediums. 2.2 seconds the difference between these two, but as of now, with my strong picking for 3 second time penalty, as of now with 11 laps done, it is a McLaren 1-2. So I'm interested to see where Nick heads out. He is on the medium tyres, hot taps, after his spin has made it into the pit stops and has left the pits. So it looks like Nick will be out in 8th, is in front of Lira. Yes, he is. So he will be chasing Jaime for the time being. Has a bit of a gap. As Bob Lot taps, he'll be out in 9th. That's Boaz Notice retiring from the session there. I did see a Renault right behind Nick, so I wanted to just have a wee quick look. I think it obviously is. Yes, it is onto the right, so it's a very strange place to retire. So I'd assume that he's just retired out of frustration. But Schwalbe has a 3.5 second lead. Star has gained 7/10 of a second this lap on the medium tyres. Remember now, the soft tyres are struggling. That's Schwalbe pitting in. It's probably a very smart move considering Spawny is catching the wheel very quickly. 1.8 seconds the gap between the first two, the top two now of Real and Spawny. Shari, who possibly does not have to pit, 4th position now, make it 3rd after Schwalbe pits. So you might be in for a good shout of a podium the way it's going if you can make these hard tyres stay till the end of the race. So keep an eye on him come the end of this race. He might be under pressure, but he might be in a position where he can maybe fight for a podium. Anyway, 1.7 seconds the gap between Spawny and Real. The guy we have never heard about suddenly appears on to the track and is giving Real a real go. Pardon the pun. Lira is on the same boat as Shari. I don't think Lira has to pit as well, so he might be in a position as Real picks up a 3 second time penalty, and that is possibly crucial for the race. I should mention Schwalbe has exited the pits, and the undercut has not really worked between Schwalbe and Nick. 6 second gap between himself and Nick, so it looks like the overcut works out very well around this track. So maybe Shadi's pace isn't particularly like, I don't know what I'm saying. I think Shadi's pace is stronger than it actually looks. That's what I'm trying to basically say. I think the soft tyres is the wrong tyres to go for. Spawny Star, another fastest lap of the race, 30.6. So that puts him 1.4 seconds away from Real. He's very, very close to DRS range now. These medium tyres might head on as Silvers picks up a 3 second time penalty for himself in 13th. Not going great for the guy in 5th position in the championship. He will probably most likely lose that 5th position to Schwalbe, who, if he continues at this pace, might pick up 3rd in the championship come the end of this race, results depending. What else was I going to mention there? I completely forgot. I don't know, it's probably nothing important. Anyway, 1.2 seconds the gap between Real and Spawny. Looks like Spawny is really pushing it now. Yes, I remember now, medium tyres, so we're going to be expecting, I would say the medium tyre runners to be coming in around the lap 17, between basically lap 15 to lap 17. Again, I would say the undercut would be good, especially for the softer tyres at least. So maybe coming in a little bit early for the softer tyres. Now the soft tyres usually last around 14 laps. Now the game, that's what the game says. Realistically, I think it's going to be around 11 laps. So the next couple of laps is another fastest lap from Spawny. That is less than a second now. He is in DRS range as Schwalbe picks up 6th from Jaime. So he's making the charge with his fresh tyres. Next on the list, Archer, who is 6 seconds up the road. So Spawny, not that far behind. Shari puts the 3 second time penalty. That might not matter come the end of this race. It might though. It might not. Schwalbe Fastest lap of the race, 29.7, the first person with 29s in this race. The fresh tyres, he really means business. Spawny Star with that DRS only 4/10 behind Real now. Real is really coming under pressure now. His medium tyres might be worse for wear, obviously, with 2 laps difference between himself and Spawny. Let's see if you can do anything with the DRS. Can you get at least a little bit closer to Real? The answer is yes. His setup really looks like it works well on these straights, especially effective with DRS. But look at that, he's right behind Real. The grip on that Toro Rosso is just night and day compared to the McLaren here. Less than 3/10 of a second. This is Spawny's chance to overtake lap 15. See if he can actually do anything about it. Heading into the first DRS section as Jaime pits from 7th place and Silver's from 13th. Now it looks like Spawny has actually not got a good exit out of turn 5. That allows Real to live another couple of corners in the lead at least. Meanwhile, we have Schwab only 2 seconds away from Archer. He's gained 4 seconds in the space of a lap. That's how dominant these tyres are. This is only giving really a chance to Schwab to basically extend his lead. Oh, and Real had a little bit of a mistake. They're coming at the exit of turn 9 there. This is only inviting Spawny Star. Spawny Star feels much more comfortable on these used tyres, but it looks like Real is getting better exits coming out at the end of the DRS sections. But Spawny getting ever closer. A bit of a better exit from Spawny, and that could have been a good chance at a bit of a dive come the end of the session as Real pits, possibly heading into the soft tyres. So it looks like 15 laps is enough for these mediums. If that's the case, I think the hards might not be able to make it to the end. So if that's the case, Shady might have to pit come the last couple of laps. Like maybe 20, 21, but you never know. With these situations, and he has a time penalty as well. That makes it worse. So that is obviously allowing Schwab to get past. Is he in front of Nick? Now where is Nick? Nick is on the back straight. Real just coming out. Now this is a very slow pit lane, and it looks like Nick has managed to stay out in front of Real, who's exiting the pits now. So Real is in 7th behind Nick, but Real is on the softer tyres and the fresher tyres. Schwab less than a couple of tenths of a second away from Archer. Archer's teammate is now currently lead Spawny Star with a 10-second lead over Shari, who's on the medium tyres. Schwab, you can see the grip difference, and it looks like Archer's just going to let him go. It's a very smart move from Archer, and that Schwab already up into 4th place, 3 seconds behind Mandrop. He'll probably catch him by the end of this lap, the pace that this McLaren is going. He's only 12 seconds away from Shari with 10 laps to go. It's very much possible for this McLaren to catch the Mercedes if the Mercedes is to stay out for the rest of the race. That is Spawny Star, lap 17, 14 laps into the Grand Prix on these medium tyres. Will possibly be pitting, I would imagine, the next couple of laps or so, as Mandrop 15 lap old tyres and Archer 15 lap old tyres entering the pits. So I'd imagine Spawny will be pitting either this lap or next. That allows Shari to maintain control of this race. Now he needs to make sure that firstly, if he is going to stay to the end of this race, he manages to keep these tyres going till the end and see if he can actually keep the pace up as well. That is the curse, I suppose, of a Formula 1 driver, trying to get performance but trying to save tyres as well. Nick, obviously with all these pit stops, putting himself up into 4th place. Real already catching in 5th now with the soft tyres. Lira battling lot taps here for 6th position. It looks like lot taps is on the favourable medium tyres and Lira on the slower, harder tyres. Let's have a look at lot taps, see if he can do anything around the outside of turn 6. It looks like Lira has got that covered for the time being. So Archer has exited the pits in 10th position, Mandrop in 8th. Just to mention, let's actually have a look. Does Spawny? No, Spawny stays out another lap, so I'd imagine he will be pitting in fairly soon. Let's have a look. Let's see, Real, is he getting any closer to Nick? The answer is obviously going to be yes, but not close enough to make an overtake for the time being. But he is in DRS range now. Can Loctats, as he basically has 4 wheels on the grass there, can he do anything with his DRS? He's closing into Lira. Lira taking a very defensive line, well within his right. You can let Tats go round the outside, but that Ferrari has too much grip as Real puts the fast lap of the racing, 129.4. So Tats manages to pass Lira into 6th place. A really good move from the Ferrari driver there, and hopefully he can start gapping Lira to make sure that if he gets any penalties he'll be able to stay in front of Lira. So Nick really under pressure now from Real. Looks like there's the gap half a second. Looks like Real's not got the best strategy now. Obviously we said Spawny's setup was really good on the straights. I think Real has made sure he's better in the corners than he is in the straights, so maybe DRS not effective as much, but we see he gets a better exit out of turn 8, going on the inside of turn 9, making a really nice move there, and nice clean driving from these two drivers. Nick trying to fight back heading into Maggots and Beckett's, but playing it safe. Spawny is now in the pits after 15 laps in these medium tyres. Make it 16 now, so I think Shari, if it was a normal pit stop and Shari started on these hard tyres, I would say he'll be pitting in maybe the next 4 or 5 laps. So I think Shari has enough tyres in him to get to the end of the race. I do not think he needs to pit. So if that's the case, Schwab really has to get a move on. He's with 7 laps to go. He's only gained 2 seconds on Shari with 3 laps done, heading into the 3rd lap. So he's basically gaining a second a lap the way it's going. Obviously Shari's cliff will be coming up soon with the tyres. He will be losing a hell of a lot of time. I believe Shari does have some time penalties to add on. Spawny Star, just to say, is in front of Real, so the overcut has worked out very, very well for Spawny. On the soft tyres as well, so he can maybe make an impact, possibly go for the win here, depending on his pace. I should actually mention, Real has actually passed Nick. I already shown that. I don't know why that's a surprise to me. I already showed that. Further back we have Citroen and Archer having a bit of a battle. Archer going on the inside. He is on the fresh tyres. Mad Citroen 14 lap old hard tyres. So that is Archer up into 9th place. So it looks like Toro Rosso will have 2 drivers on the points the way it stands. But Spawny already put the hammer down, 14.8 seconds. He'll be catching Schwab in the next couple of laps. The way it's going, I think Shari might be praying for a little bit of a battle between these two. 10.1 seconds the gap as we enter lap 20. And Real not that far behind really, 3.6 seconds. We might have a 4-way battle for podium positions, maybe 5 if we shouldn't really discount Nick. His consistency is the reason why he's a championship leader. His consistency is the reason why he's been getting a lot of podiums this season. So we have to, we should not count out Nick whatsoever. So it is a 5-way battle for a win or podium position here. With 6 laps to go. It's quite strange to say that with 19 seconds the gap between these guys, but Shari's tyres will fall off the cliff, and we have fresher tyres on Spawny and Real. And again, Nick might collect up the scraps if any battles do presume. Now the gap is under 10 seconds for Shadi. I believe he has a 3-second time penalty plus a couple of 5-second time penalties. I believe 5-second time penalties after minor contact on the safety car. Again, this is a previous Codemasters like issue where the slightest attacks with the guy or driver in front just allows you to get 5-second time penalties, especially on the safety car, even though no damage might have occurred. But remember, Shadi may have taken out Ken Worthington, so there could be a Stu's inquiry on his neck as well come the end of this race. 9.1 seconds gap between Schwalbe and Shadi. Spawny fastest lap of the race, 28.7. 2.6 seconds the gap between Spawny and Schwalbe. And Real starting to, I was going to say, catch Schwalbe. I don't think he is really, so I think I maybe got a little bit too excited by saying Real and Nick were going to be part of this, because they're certainly not closing as much as Schwalbe and Spawny are. So it looks like a battle for the podiums are going to be Shadi, Schwalbe and Spawny's to fight for. 5 laps to go. Be very impressive to see if Shadi can actually make these tyres till the end of this Grand Prix. As Luck taps in 6th position, picks up a 3-second time penalty for himself. He has a gap of 1.4 seconds to leader, so he is under pressure to keep that 6th position with only 4 laps to go. Schwalbe has a 1.6 second gap behind Spawny. This is a really good battle between these two drivers. Spawny obviously catching. 8 seconds the difference between Shadi and Schwalbe. Shadi's damage limitation to this gap is really working out well for him. 19 lap old tyres he's on, and to be fair, Schwalbe 10 lap old tyres. We were seeing drivers pit with 15 laps on tyre life on these mediums, so maybe the mediums are dying out. So it really comes down to if Spawny Star can pass. Looks like Schwalbe as quickly as possible. Can he actually close enough to Shadi to maybe scare him into a win on his debut race? I say debut race with a question mark, because again, I do not know. Obviously it wouldn't be a random if we were just going to go through this race without with him in it, otherwise we would have just started again and kicked him out. So he will be in this league. Again, no one tells me anything, so I just have to assume sometimes. But Spawny, less than a second away from Schwalbe. He is in DRS range, 3 laps to go. Lap 23 we are heading into, so that's 4 laps to go. Ross, well done. You can tell that my maths is not great. But yes, it looks like Schwalbe is going to be very much under pressure. Saying that, Shadi, 7.4 seconds, he's lost 7/10 this lap to Schwalbe. Real looks like he's not gaining anything. Nick, a little bit of a comfortable race for himself in 5th. He's not going to be losing too much to the guys around him, I think. Shadi, obviously, actually, now I'm saying that, that's a lie. So Shadi 38 points behind Nick in the championship. Looks like if it stays as it is, and again I say that with a pinch of salt before we say anything, we have Spawny all over the back of Schwalbe. Looks like nothing as of yet until the next DRS zone, so I have quickly enough time to say Shadi currently 25 points, Nick currently 10 points, 15 points of a difference, 38 points between these two drivers. Shadi will be within that race victory of a gap. I believe that will be 23 points. The difference between Shadi and Nick, if it stays as that is, as Nick gets the 3-second penalty. Spawny all over the back of Schwalbe now. Really done well with his tyre management in this race, side by side with Schwab. Schwab not giving them any room contact between these two. Schwab really good defending from the McLaren driver, as we have a random Finnish guy join. We may as well be having, I imagine he's going to be part of this league next week or something. Silvers gets the 3-second time penalty, so we have Schwab still defending Spawny. So again, this is only going to help Shaddy's cause if he is going to get away with penalties as well. It looks like Spawny has now got the better of Schwab. Schwab can defend around corners, but he certainly can't defend over a Toro Rosso with better traction and DRS. So 7.3 seconds the difference between Spawny and Shaddy. 2 laps to go across the line. I would say Spawny has too much of a gap to close to Shaddy, but again, penalties might be the difference towards it. And obviously, if Schwab can stay in DRS range, this is only going to bring himself closer to Shaddy. And again, with a big gap between himself and Rio, I say that himself as in Shaddy, 15.3 seconds of gap. I think the worst Shaddy can do with penalties is 3rd place. It's a very, very good run from Shaddy. As we enter lap 25, the gap now 6.5 seconds. Spawny isn't giving up this race without a fight. He's gained a second basically in half a lap. Again, these hard tyres will probably hit the cliff right about now, so he's really going to have to be careful. So the other battles, we have Mazzatron and Archer still battling against Zatron. 20 lap old tyre still having a battle with Archer. I have been noticing that both of these drivers have been going back and forth. I think overtaking with the DRS obviously being a help. We'll actually see if Mazzatron can maybe do an overtake now that he's actually being shown on stream. I don't think he can, is the answer. Obviously good timing from myself here to not show it. Right, so we're entering the final lap of the race. 5.2 seconds the difference between Shaddy and Spawny. Spawny not close enough on track to do anything about Shaddy unless Shaddy makes a terrible mistake. But I think Spawny will be winning this race with penalties from Schwab, who I don't think has any penalties as of yet. But again, 1 lap to go, anything can change. I know for a fact Real has a 3-second time penalty. If I'm being honest, I think Schwab actually does have a 3-second time penalty from what I remember. I'm not entirely sure. As we actually see Mazzatron pass Archer for 9th and Archer go back again. So these two guys are having a little bit of a good battle. We're going to have to catch that come the end of this race, but we have to wait for Shaddy to make it cross the line first. 4 seconds the gap now. Spawny's basically just gained a second on that first sector alone over Shaddy. These tyres are tanking on the Mercedes, and he's quite lucky he's not got an extra lap to go, otherwise this would be the Toro Rosso's victory. But as we exit Maggots and Beckett's for the last time, heading into Sector 3, and from last place in qualifying after the retiring qualifying, after breaking his front wing, Shaddy comes and takes the win at the British Grand Prix. Brilliant drive from the German. No matter what penalties he gets, a brilliant drive. Spawny actually does not pass Shaddy after penalties, so that's major. 6/10 of a difference. Schwab is 3rd, so Shaddy actually wins this after penalties. He might be under investigation for his incident between Ken Worthington. I say that I do not know what the situation is. Unfortunately, I didn't miss it, but Shadi might be under investigation. But that looks like a win for Shadi for the time being. I am missing this good battle for 9th place between Zitron and Archer. Who's going to get the better of who come the end of it? We're going to see a little bit of a dive from Archer. Knows the answer. Looks like Mad Zitron is going to get this last. Well, I'm not getting the last point. It's 9th place for Mad Zitron, but Archer gets it obviously after penalties. Jaime gets 10th after penalties. 2 steps will be the next one to cross the line, followed by Silvers, who's had a little bit of a disappointing race, in 13th. So an absolute cracking drive from Shari. That puts him, just to confirm it, under 25 points now behind Nick, 23 points to be exact, in the driver standings. And also it helps with the constructors, as it looks like Mercedes will be gaining points over Red Bull, and McLaren will be getting closer to Red Bull as well. So not the greatest of point scores for Red Bull, but still plenty more races. We're only halfway come the end of it. So confirmation of results: we have Shadi from Spawning, Schwalb, Real, Nick, Mandrop, Lira, Luktats, Archer and Jaime taking the last points position from Mad Citron and 11th. 12th is 2 steps, 13th is Silvers, 14th is Boaz Noise, who did not finish. Jai G did not finish in 15th, and Kim Worthington did not finish in 16th. So a very chaotic race in a sense, but very entertaining as well at the same time. Very kind of heating up at the end of it. Well done once again to Shari. Next on our list is actually Shadi's Grand Prix, home Grand Prix I should say. Not Shadi doesn't own that Grand Prix. It'll be impressive if he does that as well. It is the German Grand Prix. Round 11, that will be officially us past the halfway mark, and it'll be unfortunately the last time we'll maybe see the Hockenheim ring, at least for a little while. So be sure to catch the race Monday 30th of September live, from 10 to 8 British summertime, 6:50 GMT, 8:50 CEST. I'd like to thank you very much for watching. I do apologise once again that we didn't have a pre-show. I'll need to talk to people about this. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll speak to you again.